Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of my AllTheMods10 SSP playthrough. In this episode, we will pick up where we left off last time and start making an AE2 network. So the first thing that I want to make is this ME controller, and so that is just some Fluix crystals, the engineering processor that we made in the last episode, and some skystone blocks. And all the skystone block is smelted up skystone, which you can find in the meteors from Applied Energistics. When I explored, I got like 9 stacks worth, 10 stacks worth. So I went ahead and smelted up the skystone blocks. And so with this, I will go ahead and make the ME controller. Now, in order for the ME controller to work, we do need a couple of things. First, we do need the ME drive, which is Fluix ME glass cables. I will go into a little bit more depth on cable management, how channels and everything works with Applied Energistics, but I'll go over that when we get to there. So the first item we need is this quartz fiber, which is just some glass and some Certus quartz dust. I'm going to get 9 of them just because. And we're going to get some Fluix glass cables, which is just 2 Fluix crystals with 1 quartz fiber. And after we get some iron, we should be able to go ahead and make the drive. Now, the ME drive is very important as it allows us to actually store all of these items. So here you have a bunch of slots, 8 in total, or I can't count, 10 in total, to put drives in, or to put storage cells. Yes, that's what they're called, the storage cells in. There's different types of storage cells. We are primarily going to be using the item storage cells, but there are also fluid and chemical storage cells for Applied Energistics. So the next thing we need to do is actually get some cables. So we'll follow the quest line here real quick. We do have the basic cabling. And we can make smart cables from this basic cabling. First, though, we are going to have to make some covered cables. So there's different tiers of cables. There is, again, the glass cables, and you can read through the quest book if you'd like. But the glass cable is the basic, most basic kind of cable. It doesn't show any channels. So in Applied Energistics, if you don't know, there are channel limits. And so if you have a certain number of devices connected to a particular network, you can only connect up to an X amount of total. So in a given line or in a given network, you can carry up to 8 channels. These glass cables do not tell you how many channels are connected to your network. So we could go ahead and use these glass cables. However, I want to just go ahead and make the covered cables. And so because I never use just the regular glass cables. So we are going to get some wool if we have any currently. Do we have any wool? I'm personally not seeing any wool, unfortunately. So we'll make those in a bit. I would like to make some now. So let me go out and around, maybe shear some sheep. Try saying that 5 times fast. But I will be back once we get a little bit of wool. Again, I am planning on having a, hopefully somewhat soon, wool answer. But let me go shear some sheep and we'll be back. And with some wool gathered, we will craft up a little bit more of these cables and go ahead and turn them into covered cables. Now these still, I don't believe, they still won't tell you how many channels your network has. What we're going to have to do is get some glowstone and some redstone. Go ahead and put those shears away. And we are going to have to turn them into Fluix ME smart cables. And now these smart cables will allow you to see the channels. So each of these smart cables, or a network of these ME smart cables, can fit a total of 8 channels on it. We can turn this into dense smart cables though, and these dense smart cables can hold 32 channels on them. For now though, we will just stick with the smart cables itself, and we will come down here. I carved out a little bit of a space here, and we will run this over a little bit and place the ME controller down. If we right click it, we can see what's connected. So currently right now only the ME controller is connected. If we put the drive down right behind it, the ME drive will also be connected, and it is using 4.89 AE per tick. It keeps going up to 5. That's because I believe we are storing power. And I don't believe, yeah, we should have plenty of power to keep this connected. I think it was just the internal buffer with the 7K here that drained it. But so we'll go ahead and break this and run down some smart cables and get the drive connected up here. So as you can see with these smart cables, there is one of 8 channels connected. We can see that from that little line there. If we go ahead and break that, that line disappears. So the more channels, the more lines that appear. So you also have a visual, as well as if you're looking at it, it'll tell you. If, for example, we use this smart cable, or this glass cable. Again, we don't see anything on it, but we do see that there is one of 8 channels through these smart cables. So the next thing to craft is going to be the item storage cell. Now, again, with Applied, there are plenty of different types of storage cells. Now, if you go up in tier, so it's the 1K, the 4K, the 16, 64, and 256 item storage cells. If you go up in tier, you can see that the number of bytes used, so basically the number of items increases, so you can have a greater volume of items in the storage cell. However, the types of items remains the same, so they're all 0 of 63 different types. So the best example for that is, let's say, this cobblestone. Cobblestone is just one type of item, so it would just take one of the 63 types, but there is almost 3,000 cobblestone in here, so I don't exactly remember like how many bytes that would translate to. I don't believe it would completely fill up the 1K storage cell, but it would only use one of 63 types, but greater volume of items would probably be better used for the higher storage cells. But with a mod like this, when there's so many different types of items, even with the items that we have high volumes of currently, we're only going to want the 1K ME item storage cell, even for the cobblestone. Now, what I will say is in the future, we will be taking advantage of functional storage for the oak drawers. So when we need 12,000, 100,000, 500,000, a million of a different type of item, we are not going to be storing all of that in our AE2 network. I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of resources. This is just how I play when these two mods are in the same mod pack, but I feel like it's a waste to even go to a 4K ME item storage cell, just again with the vast number of different items in this mod pack. So we're first going to make probably, let's just go with 4 for now. We are going to need quartz glass. It's from Applied Energistics, just 4 glass and some Certus quartz. I'm just going to go ahead and craft up all of that with the glass that we have. And now, as you can probably see, we are running very low on the quartz dust, which is why I wanted to make the service quartz seed first before getting this started, just so we have enough resources to continue to be able to make this. And with that, we will craft the 4 1K storage cells and place them down here by, or inside of this drive. So now you might be wondering, well, we have that, we have the drive connected, the ME controller powered, and looks like everything's running. How do we access that? So we are going to need an item terminal and or a crafting terminal. So there are multiple different types of terminals in Applied Energistics. There are, again, it's just the ME terminal, which is just a regular terminal. You can only put items in and out of your network with that. And then the crafting terminal, which will allow you to put items in and out of your network, but will also supply a crafting table grid for you. There is also the pattern access terminal and the pattern encoding terminal. We will get to both of those once we get more into auto crafting. So I would like to just go ahead and go straight for the crafting terminal. I don't particularly use just the ME terminal. I do like the crafting grid in there. So we will go ahead and mark all of these on our list here. And we will first go for the illuminated panel. We are missing a little bit of glowstone. Get some of that. And get the illuminated panel. We do also want the annihilation core and the formation core, which is Certus quartz and nether quartz. And let's go ahead and make this one and this one. And with that, we should be able to make the ME terminal. And from there, I'll just go ahead and create the crafting terminal, since it is only requires a crafting table. Perfect. And if we go down here, we can just temporarily place this on here for now. So we'll get this connected. We can see here that there are now 2 of 8 channels, so plenty of room. And we open this up. I already have this kind of preset. I like the tall centered terminal here. You can make it a full height terminal or a small centered, medium. I like the tall just because it kind of fits the screen. It's not too big, doesn't I feel like too many options, but I also like to be able to see a lot of what we have. I am going to sort by number of items and sort in descending order. You can also view by sorted, craftable, or both of your items. You can also filter by, what is in your network. So we're just going to have all of these marked on, but if you don't want to see your fluids, for example, we can just do items, but we'll have all of those marked. And so essentially, we now have access to these ME storage cells in our network, and it's all being powered from this. Yep, we're still doing good on power. And so we can just go ahead and start putting stuff in. You can see that I've put the flux crystals in. I can also take them out and make items with this crafting table, and it will take items out directly from here. So if I, let's just say, make some more glass cables, you can see the top, there's now 22 instead of 24, but it automatically pulled couple more of the flux crystals from here. And you can see there's one of 63 types with 11 bytes used. So let me take a couple of minutes here, and I am going to just start moving things down into our AE network. So as I was moving things down towards our ME network, we did actually run out, so we are going to need more item storage cells. But as you can see from these storage cells, everything that I've moved in, I've moved the resources, kind of the organics, a lot of the blocks, or I'm working on the items / blocks now. But as you can see, we've reached 63 of every type, but we have not reached the 1024 bytes used on any of them. And so if you take a look here, I'm shift left clicking. I can't put anything into the network. If I take these source gems out and I place, I don't know, the wild horns, they'll go in now. And so definitely smart, and you know, you'll definitely know when it's full, even if you don't have direct access to your ME drive. So I'm just going to, with the remaining logic cores we have, I am going to make the 7 more storage components. So as you can see, it took all of the items out of the network, and we will go ahead and just shift click and make as many of these as possible. Looks like we accidentally made some item cell housing, which is okay. What we can do from there, though, is with the cell housing, we can make just put it next to a 1K ME storage component if we need more storage cells in the future. And we can also place it next to any of the other K storage components. So we'll go ahead and put these in here. Looks like we have one extra, so we might need another ME drive. But I will go ahead and just keep moving our stuff down here and go from there. So now that we got all of our items moved down into our AE2 network, as you can see, all of these, again, 63 types, no more than 868 bytes used in any of them, with still a couple more free of space. And so what I'd like to do now is I would like to have a crafting terminal down here. And again, we are going to probably get all these moved, get a more in-depth ME brain set up here. But so what I would like to do for the time being is have a crafting terminal set up down here, but also one up by where our previous storage was. Since we are up here quite a bit, I would like to have, again, like a terminal right here. I have not moved, the one thing I have not moved, and what I will not move are these enchanted books, because each of these takes up one and only one spot in our AE2 network, and I do have a plan that we'll get to not soon, but eventually, in a better way to store these books. But for now, we're just going to leave them here in a chest. But again, I would like to get some wiring up here and get a crafting terminal here. So I have a couple things that's in preparation to do that. The first thing I want is the charging station, and both these items are in the tips and tricks section here. I think it's about time we get these made. So let me see, the charging station is just some redstone, iron, lapis, and a block of coal. We'll go ahead and make that. And the other thing that I want to make is this personal shrinking gadget. I am personally a huge fan of this item. For those of you that don't know, this item will, well, shrink you, but it can also enlarge you. And it's really funny. I really personally enjoy it. We will go out. I think that should be enough, at least for demonstration purposes. I guess not. It might need to be more charged. But you should be able to shift right click it to open the interface. If we go here, it might have use item shrink, helpful for working on automation and also overall fun, which how true is that? So we're gonna let this charge up a little bit here, and hopefully when I get it to full charge, it will. Wait, hold on. Was that an energy cube? With full power. We will keep that in our inventory for now. But we will go and collect some of these rewards here. Again, I personally really enjoy just going through and collecting them. Hopefully you guys do too. It's nice to know, like, where in the mod pack in the quest book line I am, and the way I go about doing it is just by going through everyone and collecting them. I think we did get, yes, a honeycomb from one of our quest rewards. We also got one of these from Mechanism, and what do we get from this? The energy cube, so multiple. Awesome. So go ahead and put these away. A lot of good AE2 rewards there. So hopefully it is, yep, now fully charged. I am going to go off camera and figure out what the heck is going on. Oh, there we go. It's not shift right click, it is just right click. I'm an idiot. So if you right click this, you can see very basic GUI. You can do minus or shift left click to go to minus, and if you shift right click, you will shrink. So now I am less than a block tall. But if I go the other way and go up to 10, I will also make myself super big. Really find this fun. You still do take fall damage. But what you can also do is for this skeleton, if I shift right click him, he will get giant too. The fun you can have with this. Especially if you're online with a group of friends, it is super, super fun to do. But I personally like the small. Let me just get rid of these guys. Maybe sleep through the night. Should end up getting a roof on here eventually. I would like, I want to see how it looks, but I'm thinking just like a glass roof over top of here with like the stair outline here would be nice, but might have to, again, get some touch before we go about doing that. So one of the many benefits of the personal shrinking device is you can fit through 1x1 block gaps, and so it's really nice for when you're tunneling and cabling and getting all this infrastructure set up. It's nice to be able to, you know, move around and through your wiring and all that good stuff. The other thing, which is somewhat cheap, I am aware, but it's, you know, in the game. It's not like I'm using commands, like for game mode, don't even have that. But what you could do is if you're this small and you push yourself up against a wall, you can actually see right through it. So what I'm going to use this for is I can see that my, you know, previous storage housing was up through here. So I am just going to make a tunnel directly underneath to where I want to go. So I believe I'm directly under this block, and you can see those are the pillars, and we'll go one more back, and then we're going to go all the way up and place a crafting terminal right over here. In order to do this, though, we are going to need a lot more cables and, well, another crafting terminal. So we'll go ahead and we are going to need some logic processors. Do I have any gold? No, I do not. So we are not going to make the crafting terminal quite at this time until we get the logic processor. But what we can do is definitely make some more cables here. I think this will be enough. We are going to need more wool, though. Let's see. How much wool can we get via this string? 21 pieces. I really need to do something about getting more wool. But so we'll go ahead and hopefully 22 cables will be enough, but we'll go ahead and get this all the way over, at least as far as we can go. Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit more, so I'll be back once some more gold generates over here. Well, actually, I think the hoe ran out. So the one bad part about how we have that set up currently is the hoe will run out of durability sooner rather than later. Once we get to getting AllTheMods10, both armor and weapons and gear, all that good stuff, none of it has durability. So we will be putting in, definitely be putting in an AllTheMods10 hoe into this when we can. So go ahead and get some more string, which is why I used all the string to get the wool, because I know we have some hemp growing here. But so we'll be back when we get those logic processors and some more cables. Alright, so we got more of the items that we needed. We'll go ahead and make the ME terminal again, as well as the crafting terminal. Got some more cables. The other thing that I would like to make at this time are some cable anchors. And so with this, we can kind of make the base look a little bit nicer. And so if you take these cable anchors, which they do have multiple uses, but for the time being, we'll just be making some facades. If we put them around a block as such, we can turn them, again, into facades. And what these will do is they will attach to the smart cables, or any cable for that matter, as you can see from the shadow overlay there. And so if we go back up here, extend this cable out a little bit more, and place the crafting terminal down here, we can then right-click those cable facades and place them over the crafting terminal. So now we have the terminal up here, and it, again, just looks nice covering up those cables. And so let me know, too, if you guys prefer being, you know, normal length, normal height. I personally love just being short, especially when we get into creative flight. I will typically just constantly be small, but if that bothers, you know, if that's a bother from a viewing standpoint, just let me know, and I'll definitely try to keep in mind to switch back to my normal size as well. I also tried to take a look into the crafting table on a stick keyboard shortcut. I, for the life of me, could not find a way. I did do a little bit of Googling and to see if I could make a hotkey shortcut for the crafting table on the stick, but I couldn't find even anything online. If you go to your keybinds, you can press category, and typically, like for the magnets, the simple magnets here, you'll just press that, and there's a command toggle magnet for X. But I tried to look up the category crafting, you know, crafting on a stick. I couldn't find that. I looked up curios, and I couldn't find a hotkey under them either. So I don't really know kind of how to make that hotkey shortcut. I thought there was a way. I could be wrong. If anyone knows, again, please let me know down in the comments, like, if you guys have found a way to do that, or if there is a way that has been found, please definitely let me know. So that's about all that we have time for this episode. In the next episode, we will work on extending our AE network, as well as some questline completion and some other fun stuff. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.